Earthborne Rangers. This is your review for 2. Good day, my name is Joe. Today we'll be going over Earthborne Rangers and how it plays with 2 players. Now Earthborne Rangers is a cooperative 1 to 4 player game where you will each be a ranger with their own personalities, backstories, and all that other stuff, exploring the lands and traveling the valley and helping people along the way. So it is played over 30 days, and each day you'll be playing cards from your hand, interacting with creatures, interacting with flora, and traveling. And after those 30 days, the campaign is complete. So let's see a little bit more how to play. So in Earthborne Rangers, as I said, everybody's going to get their own deck. It has about 30 cards or so with backstory, with some of your personalities, some of your, just traits overall. And that kind of makes up your ranger, as well as this card that tells you a different stat for your awareness, your fitness, your spirit, and then your focus. Each one of these has an ability attached to it, or I should say a common test attached to it that you can be doing as your travels along the valley. But essentially, you are going to build this deck on where you're at in the campaign, where you're traveling from. It is built on a terrain type and a location type, and that builds this encounter deck like any kind of Marvel Champions or Lord of the Rings adventure card game or the Arkham Horror game. This is your encounter deck, but it's built up of the land you're in and the kind of either the city or the just roaming the countryside. You're going to have this countryside, you're going to have a weather data, and then things are going to come at you. Things are going to, you may experience some flora, some fauna, some things along the way, some things within reach. So instead of being, engaged with you or out there for all the players, everything's either within reach, engaged with you, along the path, kind of in your way, maybe obstacles, things you can interact with, and then the location. But essentially, you're just trying to explore the lands, let things interact with each other. As you do tests, they're going to be a plus or minus on how much you commit. And then there's going to be this icon at the bottom where everything's going to interact with each other. Some of the predator and prey may butt heads with each other, and you don't even have to do anything. You just sit back and watch, explore the lands, trying to accomplish some of your missions. It really is an open-ended game. I can't really go into too much how to play, but it is going to be draw a couple encounter cards, see what is in this deck, and if it engages you, then you get to go and expend your energy for a couple hours, all while playing your cards, using some of these icons on the side to help you in certain tests, to put progress on certain tests, to do harm to being if you really need to, but really just interacting with the environment, trying to accomplish your goal that you personally set out for the day. So see a little bit more what I thought about the game. So the rules and references, the rules are fairly straightforward this game, but I did have to reference the rule book quite a bit. There was always this, what if, I forgot what this does. Ooh, I didn't encounter this before. What does it do? And it is a decent job in the rule book of explaining, but it will take you a little bit to get used to. It does come with a kind of adventure book, kind of the lure of the valley. So this is kind of what you're going to read throughout the book. The reference sheets, they come with a couple. They're okay, but you are going to have to reference the rule book quite a bit. Now the components in this game, I know it's highly touted that this game is fully recyclable, full decompostable, components. Yes, I did sleeve the cards because you're going to be shuffling them quite a bit, especially for the path cards, the encounter deck. But the main cards you really probably don't need to sleeve because you aren't going to be shuffling those as much. So setup and table size. Setup really won't take you very long because it does come with a nice organizer. And when you're kind of done for the day, your cards are all in a stack with your couple components. You put it behind your divider and you're ready to go. The path cards are made up of the location, like I said, or the path along the way, and then the couple location cards, easy to separate. Everything else is just put into bags or put into the box and call it good. I really like the organizers that come with this box. Makes setup very easy, probably about 10 minutes or so or less once you get going. Table size really won't take you that big at all. Definitely can fit on a 3x3. We're a little bit more spread out, but a 3x3 can definitely fit this game. So let's talk about the gameplay. So this gameplay is open-ended. Now that's not for everybody. We're Lord of the Rings, Lord of the Rings, the card game, you are trying to get that location. You're trying to put the progress on there. Marvel Champions, you're trying to beat the villain down. Arkham Horror, you're trying to do a specific mission to end that scenario. And this one, the end of your day is just the end of your day. You have 30 more days, or 29 more days, and 28 more days. Whatever happens, happens. You want to help the people in the valley. There's a couple missions that are going to pop up along the way, and it kind of gets you started after about day 4 on the main, the main quest, if you will. But things are just going to pop up. When you reveal a card and it has a number at the top, you're going to read that entry, and you may have to help that person in the valley. You may have a couple days to do it. You may have to do it this day, but they all are just kind of different and unique. I was a little bit worried when I saw, the variability of cards in this box, where I was like, ooh, this is going to kind of get boring after a while. But it comes with enough stuff. There's enough unique locations and unique stories in here to really feel like you're helping this specific card in this specific instance, and then find it and then get a small little reward that you can maybe add to your deck in the future. But that's kind of the game, is you are helping people around the valley, whether it's taking something to a certain place, taking biscuits, to a certain place, helping with maybe some flooding, or you may come across somebody who just wants you to encounter a creature that they encountered once before in a location a few spots away. When you travel, you just get to experience all this stuff, and you can really get into the story. If you're into that, you have to create your own narrative. This is a pretty good kind of role-playing game that you can take the role of, I chose my feats, I chose my personality. Let me lean into that. So I may not be as good as talking to people, but I can really scout ahead, and I may have this hawk that can help me look and see what's coming up, try to mitigate some of my luck. But, I'm going to game the system, and then I'm just going to experience the system. And you really want to be more on the experience the system in this game to get the most out of it. There's everything from the weather effects to certain effects to obstacles to overcome to hard tests to just, there's a ton in this game. But you really have to be willing to take your time and explore. If you want to rush, go from scenario to scenario, mission to mission, this game may not be for you. This is really kind of a take your time, take your own kind of pace game. And if you're really into that, if you really want that narrative experience, this game may be for you. So is this game good for 2 players though? And I love this game for 2 players. Actually, my wife doesn't enjoy it as much, and that kind of makes me a little bit sad, because I thought she would enjoy it a little bit more, but she's more mission focused. She's more driven to go, I want to put progress on this. When we played Lord of the Rings, the card game, we were putting stuff, and progressing the main one. When we were playing Marvel Champions, we were progressing, taking stuff off the main scheme and beating up the villain. Easy, cut and dry, missions and scenarios. But for 2, you really have to kind of, get into your character. I have this strengths. I can do this. Oh, I can do this. It's really nice to play back and forth. I really like the speed at 2 players. I can see with 3 and 4 this being a lot of fun, being able to experience the valley a lot more. But it would take you more time, and I don't really like downtime, so 2 players is the perfect player count for me for this. But you have to be able to take your time. It is a campaign game, so you're going to have to play 30 sessions, and our sessions took about 2 to 3 hours a piece almost per day, and we have 30 days, so that is going to take up a lot of time. But it is really neat just to see the valley, experience the valley with two people. Being able to decide what we want to do. Do we want to go here? Do we want to traverse here? Do we want to let this play out in front of us, or do we need to intervene? Just a lot of things to keep track of, and with two players, it kind of just helps. It helps out a lot. You could play a solo two-handed if you want, but there'd be kind of a decent amount to keep track of, and you may not get into your character as much. Where this really shines is kind of being part of the valley. You are a part of the valley. You need to go explore and help the people along the way. So once again, not as cut and dry as maybe a Marvel Champions or Lord of the Rings, but definitely more, it's just as grandiose. You just have to use your imagination a little bit more and experience the stuff there is to experience along the way, and just have a good time letting the story unfold in front of you. So it may not be for everybody, but it is a good game. I really like it. Like I said, my wife wants a little bit more goal driven and a little bit more here's how we win, where this is very open-ended. So hope you enjoyed the review on Earthborne Rangers, and till next time.